So, okay, guys. So, actually, in the last class, what we have been learned is nothing but like we learned about complete CSS, right? So, that is HTML, and we used some of the CSS. So, actually, we have learned about complete CSS in our last class only. So, let us just go through these topics, and then you will come to know which all the things are there in which part. Okay. So, first, we'll just just recall all the tags that which are there in the HTML, that are basic tags which all are there in basic tags. So just let me go over here and let me create one by one tag over here. Just I'll take that is ML HTML. I'll take three dot sorry index dot ml index 3 dot html have taken. So someone has joined. So I have just taken index3 dot html. Okay. So over here, so what I'll be doing, first I'll be going to my live server and I'll just launch that site. That is in localhost. Okay. Localhost 5000. So I'll just separate this one and I'll minimize my screen. Okay. Done. So over here, the basic tags I told you, right? So what were the basic tags that we were using? The first one is the document. That is, the first one was document type tag, and here we were just telling this was a document of HTML, and we were using HTML tag. Like inside that, we were using one of our attribute. This is nothing but called as attributes. Again, the attributes, right? It is divided into two. That is nothing but we use something called as class IDs and styles in our previous class, right? That is in the Amazon site. That is, see, we use something class and style, all these, and we used also ID. So all these things are, see, we have used something called ID over here. So all these comes under the global attribute. So this can be accessed through anywhere. Okay. But there are something called as like the specific attributes that which we can only use for certain tags. That is nothing but when you are using the anchor tag at that time, see, when you are using the anchor tag, you can only give href for the anchor tag only, right? So I'll just show you in today's class. That is nothing but when you are using the anchor tag, that is anchor tag, you will be using href. So this one you will be able to use over here only, and you will not be able to give href in any other tag. For example, in h1 tag you cannot give href. Okay, it will not work because if you give in the anchor tag only, it takes. And similarly, the other things also. For example, in the image tag only you can give src and alter name, so on. Okay, and that input, in we can take input tag. Input tag. So it has its own type, but you cannot mention the type of that in any other tag. So suppose if you cannot uh, use these things inside the what image tag and all, it has its own attributes. That is nothing but specific attributes or different elements that for different elements. For every elements that will be having different things. So this was the thing that which I didn't cover in the last class, right? So any doubts in this, guys? So attributes, you got an idea of what is attribute and why we will be using, I think so, right? Any doubts you can ask me. So I think so for now, all the things in the HTML is totally covered. And similarly for headings, you have H1 tag, and for paragraph, if you want to write anything in para, you will be having paragraph tag. And all these have been covered, right? So now we have also used something, that is some of the CSS in our previous class. So what was that? So let me go and just open my previous class, that is amazon.html file. So, and let me run my live server on that first. See, this was the page that we done on the previous class, right? So what all we did, so we have used plenty of CSS over here, okay? All the CSS tags, mostly fully all the CSS tags are being covered, okay? So we have learned, first of all, we have learned inline CSS and internal CSS. So what we have learned is, we have learned inline CSS and internal CSS, both the things. So that is nothing but, yeah, we have covered this both the things. That is, yeah, we have covered inline and internal. So just we need to understand what is external CSS. So let me take a new page. So I'll also tell you what is inline, internal, and external. That is external CSS. So if you write some tag, that is h1, and if you, that is CSS, I'll just write CSS first class. Okay. So if you write something over here, and I'll just host it. So now this is nothing but this is just a skeleton of our web page. If I want to apply some styles for that, I'll just apply over here style tag, and color is equals to, I'll write something called as blue. Okay. See, now this text has been changed into the blue. I can tell that content has been changed into blue. So when you apply the CSS inside the what? Inside the same tag, that is inside the opening tag. So what I can tell, when you apply the CSS in the opening tag, then it is in line CSS. Okay. So any doubts in this? So when you apply the CSS inside the opening tag, that is called as inline CSS. Then what is internal CSS? So internal CSS is whenever you write inside the style tag, and I'll just take h1 and I'll just give something color as red. Okay. So and you should also note down, sir, you have you might ask, sir, you have already given here h1 as color red, and you have given color as blue. Why it is applying only blue? Why not it is not applying red? See, now it is applying red, and Now if I give blue, it is applying blue. Why not? Why it is applying red only? Can anyone answer? Guys, can anyone answer? Guys, can anyone answer? Okay. See, because this inline is there, right? First of all, the code executes line by line. Correct? Right? The code executes line by line. After you write this, that is nothing but if I just take this, you might also ask this question. What if I write the style tag inside the what inside the body tag? So here it will not work. Okay. So just a minute, I'll also show you. See, so here because since it is an inline, it will just show you the first preference for that. See, I'll remove this. Since it is an inline, it is showing the first preference for that. Okay. The first preference, and also the next point that you need to know is, so it shows the first preference. Okay. It shows the first preference for something called like in inline CSS. Then only it will show the preference for internal CSS. Okay. So what is the first preference I'm telling in the sense if you apply both external and internal also, it will show the preference for inline CSS. Okay, it will show the preference for inline CSS only. Okay, I think now you have been understand the inline and internal. So I'll just write it inside the header tag. I'll not write it inside the body tag because you need to know like what we are writing. Okay. So whenever we apply the CSS inside the header tag, okay, that is nothing but it is an external tag, external CSS. Okay. So I think you have understood what is internal and what is external. Any doubts in this, you can just ask me. Hey, this is not external, sorry. This is in internal CSS. Okay. And something called as external CSS is there, right? So what is external CSS? So at that time you will be creating one, that is one file for that. So that is nothing but with the extension of style.css. So you need to use the extension of style.css. So what is the extension of CSS file? That is nothing but see that is nothing but CSS. So for HTML you have nothing but HTML, right? For CSS also you have something called as CSS external. So if you want to write some CSS over here, first what you need to do, you need to link that file over here. So how to link that? So for that you have something called as link tag. So over here you can just link your CSS file. So I have linked my CSS. I'll just remove this both the things, or else let that be. I'll take another paragraph tag. So inside the paragraph tag, what I'll be doing, I'll be taking some dummy text and I'll be applying for that. So I'll just go to my CSS file that is external CSS. So this is nothing but external CSS. Okay. So here what I'll be doing, I'll be just taking paragraph tag. So please note down this. First, whenever you write down this one, right, you need to call this over here. Okay, you need to import that. So or else the CSS will not work. So I'll just give color is equals to and background color is equals to black. Okay. See, it is getting applied, right? But what if I remove this link tag? It will not apply because it is not linked. So first you need to link it. You need to link this CSS. So remember this carefully. Okay. So and what is the next thing that we will be using? So we have learned about what is internal CSS and what is inline CSS and what is external CSS. You might ask, sir, we have already learned like what is inline CSS, internal CSS, and what is external CSS. But what is CSS if someone asks, right? Correct, right? So first of all, what is CSS? Anyone can answer. What is CSS? We have gone through CSS topics first of all. So can anyone tell what is CSS? So what is CSS first of all? It is used to style the web page. I'm asking first of all, what is CSS? CSS is nothing but style, cascading style sheet. Okay. I didn't ask like why you are using and for what you are using. What is CSS? CSS is nothing but CSS stands for cascading style sheet. Then you should style because you need to know in that word only you will be getting some meaningful thing. Okay, that is cascading style sheet. Correct, right? Because this is how the interviewer will ask the questions. Okay, you might ask, sir, if you would have been asked like what is the full form of CSS, then I would have been told the answer. Right? That is the question is going on in your mind. Correct? I think so. So the CSS is nothing but cascading styled sheet. Okay. So what is CSS? CSS is a cascading style sheet. CSS is not stands for cascading style sheet. It is used to apply the so and like later you can just tell them. So it is used to give some of the styles or some of the make one of the structure colorful. So or you can tell it as what I can tell. Yeah, you can make it as to give some styles for that or to make one of the like what one of the skeleton colored fold, so on you can tell. So here have already been explained, right? So you will be making one of the skeleton colorful, right? So this is a like normal picture. So here before he was like this, and you were doing, you will be applying some of the CSS, and you will be able to get that see like color. It will be we'll be able to get the our web page colorful. Okay, but even though it is what, even though it is what, it is nothing but it is a static web page only. If you apply CSS also, it is static web page only because there is no movement in the web page. Okay. And so let us learn. So this one is done, right? So and you came to know the syntax also, like how to use and why to use, where to use. Also, you learned came to know, right? CS syntax is nothing but like this one where you will be applying and why you will be applying. You came to know, right? So here, if you write what will happen, here if you write what will happen, and you know how to apply the external CSS. So any doubts on this? Any doubts? Okay. So similarly, now the main question arises. Okay. Similarly, imagine I have some 10 to 15 paragraphs. Okay. So I need to, here the main question arises. Okay. You need to focus on this. See, I have something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So I have 10 paragraph tags. So I need to apply styles only for the first paragraph, like first paragraph. So all the rest other things should be normal. So how to do that? So at that time only some topic, that is one of the topic arises. So for doing that, you will be learning something called as selectors. So what are the types of selectors are there? First, we will learn that. Okay. So what are the types of selectors that which we have? That is nothing but the first one we'll be learning is simple selector. Okay. So under the simple selector, so I'll just take one of my notepad over here. The first thing that comes under the CSS is types of selectors. So first one is under that selectors. So under this, the first one will be simple, and the second one will be combinator, and the third one will be, this is first one, and this is second one, and the third one will be Sudoku selector. So these are the major three things that you need to know. And the last other, uh, so these are the three things that you need to know. Okay. So what are the three things you need to know under the types of selectors? So what are the three things that you need to know under the types of selectors is nothing but first one is simple selector, combinator selector, and the Sudoku selector. So under this first one, so you will this simple selector has been classified into some of the like how many types? Again, these has been divided into 5 types. That is nothing but ID. So ID is represented by hash, and next one is class. So class is represented by dot, and what is our next thing? I'll just put this inside the brackets. Okay. And what is the next thing? Group. That is group. So how does the group is been identified? It is been identified with the something. Uh, just a minute. And I'm not getting that symbol over here. Okay. So over here, the group is there, and another one is universal. So universal, I have already told you. So universal will be with the nothing but with a asterisk and with the tag name. Tag name. So tag name is nothing but like whatever the tag name that you have, with that you can mention. So for this you will be just leaving some space for this. Okay. So these are some of the things that you will be using. So just a minute. Yeah. See, for group, right, you will be just using uh, comma. So just a minute, who has joined? So for group selector, what you will be doing? You will be using the comma again over here. Okay. So just you will be using comma for group. So let us see one by one, like how you will be doing. So these are the selectors and comes under the which one? Simple selector. So what is the next thing that you will be learning is combinator selector. So under the combinator selector, so what all the things that you will be learning is that is nothing but child selector, child selector. So child selector is represented by what is represented by the arrow mark that is greater than, and the next one is descendant. Yes, CENDEN, descendant. So this descendant will be just a space. Okay. Okay. And the next thing that will be adjacent sibling. So adjacent sibling will be in the form of like which mark? This one, and something called as nothing but general sibling. Sorry, adjacent sibling is plus, and general sibling is general sibling. So adjacent sibling and the general sibling. Okay. So general sibling will be, so these are the things that which you will be learning. So majorly you will be using the child sibling and the descendants sibling only. Okay. And adjacent sibling in some of the things. So you need to know only these two things. Okay. So and what is the next thing that you will be learning is that is Sudoku classes. So this one you need to know important. So this one is important. So over here you will be using link and visit, and what is the next thing? Active and next one will be hover. hover. So we'll be learning all these things now. Okay. So first let us cover these things in our class. So I'll just take this, or else I'll just split this screen, and over here you might ask, so sir, you have already told all these things, but we don't know like where to use, why to use, and when to use. So don't worry about that. I'll be telling it now. And just note down as I tell. I'll be telling the definitions also like when I'm doing this. Okay. So ID is nothing but it is one of our simple it is one of our simple selector. So why we'll be using ID? It will be using ID for, so suppose if I mention ID and if I just give some name. So I'll be using some name for that. So what is the name I'll be giving? I'll be giving P tag. Okay. And imagine if I just give for all the things, and if I just go over here and if I apply that is slash ID. So why here I'm using slash ID? Because color will be black and background color will be something. See, okay. Why here I am using ash in a sense? Because the ID is represented by the ash. Okay. So ID will be represented by ash. So let me just go over here and I'll tell ID is represented by ash. By ash. Okay. So the ID will be represented using the hash. So we will be using ID. So what is the changes that has been happened in our website? So let me just go and host it again. See, any changes that you can see that has been done? Yeah, why it is not applied? Why it is not applied over here? Because the name which have been given is wrong. Correct, right? See, I will just go and I will just change the name, whichever the name have been given over here. Control C and I'll come here. Yeah, the page tag I'll be giving. Now it will be applied. So is it applied for 1, 2, and 3? So have given only for these 3 tags, right? That is only 1, 2, and 3. Why it is also applied for this one? See, have only applied for these 3 tags, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4 tags. have only applied for these four tags. Why it is applied for another all these tags? So I have only applied for 1, 2, 3 and 4. Why does it is applied for this one? So that is the changes that you need to just have a look over, right? Okay, sorry. Only have, okay, it is applied properly only. See, I have applied for that is I have, what is the color I have been applied? Have applied that is something called as black color, and the text color will be black, and here see it is applied for four of these things, right? Similarly, but usually for what we will be using id is you will be using to for doing only for one particular task. What if I do this for change this as class? So what if I just change this as class? I'll just change this as class. I need to go and change over here, that is dot 1, 2, 3 and 4. So okay, so this one is also changed. Okay, see again the same result only you are getting. Okay, you might ask, sir, then what is the use of id and the class? So that will be your assignment today. So what is your assignment for today? That is nothing but assignment. First question you need to search is difference between id and class. So this is your first question of the assignment. Okay, so you might ask, right, sir, if I write id also it is same only, if I write class also it is same only, then what is the difference? So for that only this is your assignment. So assignment question for today. Okay, just go through this, what the difference between id and class. So then when I explain it will be easy for you guys. Okay, so you might just collect some of the 20% of information, or someone can collect some 70%. So whenever I explain in the tomorrow's class, then at that time you will be able to like you will be able to grab 120% or 200% of knowledge. Okay, so just have a question of this one in your mind, and that is your assignment. Okay, so and what is the next thing? That something called as group. So why we'll be using group? So group is nothing but, so whenever you want to group some of the tags, that is if I want to group more than one of the tag, that one, this one and all, you will be it is not much required, and you know this tag name. So tag name is nothing but you will be just giving the tag name over here. So whatever the tag name as I have been used over here, this is the example for tag name. That is, this will be the example for tag name. You will be giving directly tag name and then you will be applying it. Okay, and suppose if I want to group it, I'll just also do this comma h1. So this is the example for I think group tag. I'll just comment this, and I'll also remove this. I'll be removing this, and just go check your output. See, is it applied for this one also? Is it applied? So group is in the sense nothing but, see, I'll be taking another anchor tag also. hide this is a I'll write hide this is CSS class. Okay, so how to apply for that? Using the group tag, you can just go over here, comma of a. So you are just grouping all these things, and when you go and just check the output, it is applied. So why this is, again see, why this is full, it is applied totally over here, and it is only applied for this one. Anyone can answer? Difference between this one and this one? Why it is applied like that? As I told you, na, inline and block level, that for that. Okay, so because anchor tag is nothing but it is an inline, and h1 tag is an block level tag, so for that only it is applied only till there. Okay, so inline and block level remains like that only, rest all things will be applied. Okay, so what all the things that you have apply over here, that will be applied for here. So you need to apply, suppose if you want to apply it for different tags. Okay, that for that only you will be using this group tag. Okay, and universal, you know, universal means it will be applied for all the tags. Okay, so for an example, if I want to just build one site, so that is I'll be doing, first I'll be giving background color something, I'll give brown. Okay, or else I'll be giving background color for body that is brown. See, I have given the background color for this, that is brown. Okay, so and whenever you can just or wait, I'll just cover this inside one of the div. Where it is, yeah, I'll go over here and I will cover all these things in one of my div tag. And I'll make this one as div. So if I go and check my output, see, you can just observe that there is some white space over here. Are you able to see? There is some space over here. So at that time, to apply, usually what we will be using, to apply for all the tags, what we will be doing, I'll be using the universal tag. So why I'll be using the universal tag, in the sense to apply for all the tags. Okay, so first I'll be applying that my all the fonts will be in Arial, and the margin I'll make it as 0, and I'll also make something padding is equals to 0. So when I apply this, see, my padding will be 0 and margin will be 0, and I'll be getting my page like this. So before, how it was, it had some of the, when I didn't apply this both the things, see, it had its default margin. Did it have? See, if I go, see, it had its default margin. So every tag has its default values. Okay, so at that time how it was, and if I apply this one, so it is applicable for every tags, that is universal. So whenever you create your website also, you need to apply this, and then you need to do. So these are some of the basic things that you will be doing. And box sizing, border box. So this one, if you don't use also, it is okay, and but you need to do this one. that is what is box sizing, border box. Okay, so these are the things that basically you need to do when you are doing the website. So there is a difference between this and without applying this. Can you observe that? So when I was doing that Amazon site also, I have showed you like that you need to use this. See, where is my Amazon site? See, I have used here first one only. Have I? So basic thing that you need to use. Okay, so this one is done, completely done. So what is the again like what is what is child selector and what is descendant and what is adjacent sibling and why we use general sibling? So that is your next question that which you will be having, right? So first we will just go through the child sibling. Okay, so what is the child sibling? Nothing but, yeah, suppose there is one example I'll take over here, where I can go. I'll be going over here. mm, I'll minimize my screen. I'll remove this. Yeah, over here, see which one is the parent of these things. The div is the parent, right? Nothing but, I'll comment here, div the parent for all the tags inside the div. Suppose if you are giving the class name for this div, so you will be giving something, the class name, what the class name you will be giving. Imagine that class name I'll take and I'll be using something called as main. Okay, so this is our main div, so I'll be giving it as main. So I'll go for my CSS and I'll be just applying over here, that is main. Okay, so I'll be just giving display flex and no, I don't want all this. You will get confused if I just give it now only. So first I'll be giving height is equals to 100 VH and width is equals to 100 VW. Okay, and background color will be dot main. Okay, the background color will be I'll make it as something violet. So you might ask, so why here I am getting a violet, not this brown? Anyone can answer? See, I am using this div also, right? See, I am using div and I am also using this dot main. Okay, so why am I getting violet not brown? Anyone can answer? Because have been given specific name for this div. Okay, have been given the specific name for this div, that is class name, and I am just applying the style for only that. Okay, so whenever I only write div, at that time it will take. So for an example, this child will be having another div. Okay, I'll just also give some style for div here, that is height is equals to 20 px and width is equals to 30 px. I'll make some 100 px so you'll be able to see. See, I'm getting the box over here, right? Because I didn't give any name for like, that is, I didn't give any, what I can tell, I didn't give any class name to uniquely identify or so. Okay, so that you are getting here. I will just write h1 tag div tag. See, it is just getting applied inside the div. So here I have taken this one in the sense, for this div is the child tag, sorry, this h1 tag is the child tag. Okay, so I think you are understanding what we are doing over here. Any doubts you can just ask me. So did you understand like why we are applying this div and why we are not applying, and like why it is not getting applied when we are giving the specific class name? Because if you want to apply only for that is, see, these are the many tags that which we have, right? I'll just open my Accelera and I'll show you. So at that time you will come to understand the proper concept. See, what we are doing over here is, see, we are having one of my body, that is body tag. Inside that you will be creating plenty of h1 tags. Imagine all these are h1 tags. And I'll take some of the paragraph tags. So these are paragraph tags. I'll just I'll just make this bolder, so you'll just come to know. So these are paragraph tags. So why I'll be using this selectors and these things in the sense, so for only this box, if I want to apply some green color, and if I want to green color and the text colors are different, means at that time only for these two h1 tags that I need to apply, means at that time what I'll be doing, I'll be using the class. So at that time what I'll be using something called as selectors, that is class selectors. Okay, so that time I'll be using class selectors. So that is nothing but class selectors. So over here again similarly, if I only want to apply something that is orange color for over here, and green color, that is I'll be applying something. So this one will be green color, you imagine, or blue color. So this one will be blue colored. So at that time what I'll be doing, for this one also I can use something called as ID, and then I'll be using. Okay, so for these things only we are using the selector. So particularly for any one of the tag that you need to select and then you need to do, for that we will be using ID and the class. So similarly in our Amazon thing also, like we have just used. Okay, and the next thing that what we have done is, we have used something called as child selector, right? That is, whenever you want to apply the what I can tell, whenever you want to apply something over here, that is something inside that particular div or particular h1 tag, For that one only it need to apply the child of this. So imagine this is now div. So imagine this is div. Inside that you have one h1 tag. H1 tag. So at that time you need to apply only for this. So at that time what you will be doing, div of child selector. So div of child and again h1. So that is what I'll be doing now over here. So I'll be taking one div. So I'll be writing width is equals to 100%. Okay, and I'll be taking one, what is that? I'll be going over here. I'll be taking one paragraph tag only. So inside this paragraph tag I'll write something, one line. So inside that I need to apply. So how do we apply? Again I'll take div of child of p, color will be white. So we'll just check whether it is applied or not. Why is it not getting applied? Okay, just a minute. I'll give some class name for here. That is, class name will be pdiv, and I'll just go over here and I'll make this as p div dot this one p div. Yeah, why it is not getting applied? Just a minute guys, I'll go over here and I'll run. Have I not closed this tag? I have closed it. So what is the mistake have done? Have I given it in capital? No. Okay, see it is applied over here. Okay, it is applied over here. Okay, see this one, it is applied, just we got confused. So because I didn't give any background color actually. Okay, I'll also give some background color. Background color will be something white. Yeah, see now you are able to see over here. Okay, why? Because like I think so, because we have done that is p tag, we have been given it as. something like black, or this one I'll just comment and I'll just check it. So due to that it was showing like that, I think so. Yeah, now if I don't give this, yeah, see now it is in the brown color. So due to this it was been affecting. Okay, so due to this one it was been affecting, so it was been in the black color. So since I removed this one, it is showing. See, if I just remove of if I just apply this, since it is applied for all the p tags, it is just showing that one. So I just remove this. See, the group tag means it is applying for all the things, all the p tags. So for that only you need to mention, but whenever if I mention this end, that is whenever I just apply this, and if I remove this one, you will be able to get the color. Okay, so this is some of the things that which you have gone through. You need to just understand this concept. Only this concept is like bit complicated, guys. Rest all the things will be very easy for you guys. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. Only these things. So that is only this part. If you understand, all this will be easy. So you need to just understand this one. Okay, you need to just understand, this will be like bit confusing, that's all. So now in today's class, like what we have just completed till the child selector, we have just covered, right? Just you just go through this much topic, that is nothing but what you need to do. You need to just go through where is my text, yeah, you need to just go through all these things. Okay, and tomorrow's session I'll be telling these three things, and now I'll be telling like what is this link and visit and active and hover. Okay, these are nothing but these are applicable for anchor tag. Anchor, that is nothing but anchor tag. So this is only applicable for anchor tags. Okay, so this one is nothing but the link. So what the link color should be. So I'll just go over here. Okay, where I'll be going, I'll be coming here. I'll take one of my anchor tag inside my div tag itself, that is here, anchor tag. So over here I'll be taking hi, and if I go and visit my page, where it is, I need to rerun this. Yeah, I'm getting it over here, right? So first I'll just comment this CSS which I have already been given over here. So I'll just apply for that. So if I give a of visited and color will be gray, and a of after the color will be brown, and font size will be small. Here I'll be telling font size will be extra large, and a of what all we have been used. We have used visitor, and what is the next other two things that we have left? So visited is done, link is not done. Visited, active. Okay. So where is my active? Okay. I'll just go to CSS. I'll tell active. If it is active, the color will be, I'll change this to something black, and a of link, sorry, a of a of link will be white. Yeah, okay. So the color, I think you're able to hear my voice. Hello. Okay. So what all have done over here? Just I have taken visited, after, and active, and so on. Okay. So these are the things that which have been taken, right? So what is the use of this? In the sense, whenever you, the font size will be, I'll make it as extra small. So see, it is small and it is in one of the color. So whenever I click on this, or else I'll just make this as 50px, and this one I'll make it as 100px. This one I'll make it as 150px, and this one I'll make it as 200px. So just we'll observe like what all the changes will happen. See, now it is in 50px, that is link is in 50px. So when I visit this, when I click on this, are you able to see this color is changing? Are you able to see? So when I click on this, that is what I can tell. How does act, in the sense, when I active, it is whenever I click on that, whenever that link is active, that color will be changed to what? Whenever I click on that, that color will be changed to black. Okay. So, and what is the next thing that you need to observe is, again the link color will be in the gray. So why it has been in gray? So why this is in the sense of gray? Because you have already visited that. See, if I refresh this, I'll make this to black only, not black. Wait, I'll make this into green. So I'll just close this, and I'll rehost my site. Yeah. See, whenever I click on this, it is just green, blue. So I'll just remove this. I don't know why this color is not getting applied. Yeah, now see. Now this one will be in gray, gray. So since this link is already visited, since I have already been tapped on this one, right? It is showing gray, okay? So if I just refresh, yeah, since I have already been used on this, see, whenever I just over on this, you will be able to see it is changing into black, okay? You will be able to see this. So why all these things that which we have been which we are using in the science, like whenever you go through that and whenever you click on this, for that all anchor tag, like whenever you visit or whenever it is active, and after active, like after visited, like what it will be doing, like that. So I'll just show you in the live example. So for an example only I'll be taking here, that is one of our geo site. See, whenever I click on that, Amazon, there is some links that you can just go through. Hover, sorry, links. What I can tell. So it comes under Sudoku. See, over here you can, I'll show you another good example. So the first, what they are telling, it will be the link color will be in the red, okay? Then when I just click on that, see, whenever it is just going to this link, it is changing. So whenever I am going on this, it has been changed to what? It has been changed to I'll just copy this and I'll just show you the same thing only. I think so I have written in the different manner, so it is not applying properly. Yeah. I just close this too, and now if I apply, see, now it is in green. First it is in green. Yeah, first it is in green. When I have uh, whenever I go on that, it is just showing pink. Whenever I click on that, it is just showing what was the color it is showing. It was showing pink, and after visited, it is showing green. So for that purpose you will be using, okay? So you need to have some of the uh, idea on that. That's all. So hover is nothing but whenever you just move the cursor on that, it will be showing hover. So any doubts on this, you can ask me. So any doubts?